Hello everyone, this is Fixed Maintenance College. I am Anthony. Today we will have Lesson 4, iPhone 8 Bottoms Touch ID Principle. Now, let's check iPhone 8 bottoms. The iPhone 8 bottoms are including power bottom, volume up bottom, volume down bottom, mute bottom, home bottom, and Touch ID sensor. When the iPhone 8 is off, press and hold the power button to turn on. When the phone is on, press and hold the power button is to activate Siri. If you want to shut down the phone, just press power button and volume up or down button. Press volume up or down button to increase or reduce the sound of phone. Adjust the mute button to switch the mute or vibrating mode. The iPhone 8's home button uses a new function of Force Touch. Home button with a taptic engine to return. Switch to the back, to menus, and activate Siri. The touch sensor of Touch ID is integrated into a home button. Next, iPhone 8 power button, volume button circuit principle. The iPhone 8's power button, volume button, and mute button are integrated in PFC line, which is connected to the J4300 of PCB. Pin 13 of J4300 is starting signal of power button. Pin 12 of J4300 is volume up. Pin 14 of J4300 is volume down. And pin 10 of J4300 is the mute button. The buttons have stable voltage of 1.8 voltage by default. When pressing the button, it means make the bottom circuit GND. At this time, the voltage changes from 1.8 voltage to 0 voltage. When the CPU detects the changing voltage, CPU will activate the bottoms function. There are 5 bottoms in iPhone 8. Power bottom, volume up, volume down button, mute button, and home button. The home button is special. It has pressure sensor. Power button, volume up button, volume down button, and mute button are integrated in the same component. This component is connected to the PCB connector. Now let's check it out. Pin 13 of the connector is starting signal. Pin 12 and pin 14 are volume up and volume down. Pin 10 is mute button. And then iPhone 8 home button circuit principle. The iPhone 8's home button uses a new function of Force Touch. Home button with a taptic engine. The home button is integrated with a Touch ID module, which is connected to the J5800 of PCB. The pin 7 and pin 9 of J5800 are the massa control and pressure of I2C lines from CPU. Pin 19 of J5800 is starting signal from CPU to massa and pressure. Pressure is controlled by CPU. This is a home button component of iPhone 8. It is different from other models. The home button of iPhone 8 has pressure sensor. It is same principle as 3D Touch. Here is pressure sensor on it. This IC is pressure sensor driver IC. And if it is broken, that will cause home button error. This cable is pressure sample signal. If this cable is broken, it will cause home button oversensitive. When home button is oversensitive, check this cable. If still not working, check this IC. Let's check iPhone 8 Touch ID circuit principle. The iPhone 8 MESA works on two conditions: power and signal. There are three lines for power. Pin 1 of J5800 is the 1.8 voltage power of PP1VA MESA from CPU. The pin 2 and pin 4 and pin 6 of J5800 is 3.0 voltage power of PP3V0 MESA from CPU. Pin 8 of J5800 is 16 voltage power of PP16V0 MESA from U5610. Signal lines are 6. Pin 7 and pin 9 of J5800 are I2C1 control lines of CPU. Pin 5 of J5800 is the interrupt signal from MESA to AOP. Pin 13 of J5800 is the interrupt signal from MESA to CPU. Pin 15, Pin 17, and Pin 21 of J5800 are SPI control lines from CPU to MESA. Pin 19 of J5800 is the starting signal from CPU to MESA. Pin 11 of J5800 is the starting signal from MESA to U5610. The MESA component and home button are integrated in the same component. This is MESA detecting ring. This is a sapphire. The MESA sensor is under it. The MESA sensor is encrypted with CPU. If you want, you can take out the MESA cover and check inside. This side is about home function. The MESA is here. There is an IC in it which encrypted with CPU. Next chapter is iPhone 8 bottoms repair idea. iPhone 8 bottoms repair idea. Number 1. In some systems, if the time is not right, the bottoms function might be error. Just update the system or reset the time. Number 2. Replace a new cable and text again. Number 3. Check resistance of all pins in bottom lines and check them if they short or broken. Number 4. Check 1.8 voltage power of pins in bottom lines, okay or not. If not, try to connect the 1.8 voltage power to fix it. Next chapter, iPhone 8 home button repair idea. iPhone 8 home button repair idea. Number 1. If the home button is broken, don't just replace the component. Or the return and MESA functions of home button will not work. Number 2. There are some kinds of versatile home button component which can solve the problem above in the market. But it just fixed the return function. The MESA error still not solved. Number 3. If MESA is okay, but return function is not, that means pressure IC of home button component is broken. Just replace new one. Number 4. If the lines of home button component is broken, that will cause MESA error and home button will oversensitive. Next, iPhone 8 Touch ID repair idea. iPhone 8 Touch ID repair idea. 1. The MESA and CPU is encrypted, and if the module is broken, it cannot be repaired. 2. If the MESA cable is broken, try to make jumper or replace the connector. 3. Check whether the MESA matches to PCB. Click Setting, Touch ID, and Password to check if the MESA addition menu is green. If it shows green, 1. Check the MESA module. 2. Check MESA cable. 3. Check MESA connector. 4. Check 1.8 voltage and 3.0 voltage power of MESA okay or not. 5. Check connection between MESA and CPU okay or not. If it shows blue, 1. If shows error notice while click the MESA addition, That means MESA not matched to the PCB. 2. If not working after adding the MESA, back to the menu and tickle home button twice. If menu is OK, that is system error. Root the phone is OK. 3. If not working after adding the MESA, back to menu and tickle home button twice. If still not working, that is 16.5 voltage power of MESA error. 4. Check resistance of pin A of J5800 and 16.5 voltage power lines OK or not. 5. Enter to MESA addition and put finger on home button. Then check 16.5 voltage power OK or not. 6. Check U5610 MESA power supply OK or not. And next, let's check iPhone 8 repair reference. The case 1 is about iPhone 8 Plus. The fingerprint is normally but not return function. The failure phenomenon is the iPhone 8 Plus failure is that the fingerprint unlock function of the phone is normal, but there is no response when the return key is passed, and a small white dot pulls up automatically when the phone is turned on. The failure analyzation is, to repair this fault, you must first determine whether the motherboard is faulty or the fingerprint module is faulty. Solution is replacing the JC Universal Return Key cable for texting. It is found that the failure is still, it is determined that the motherboard is faulty. According to iPhone 8 Plus 1.0 version, page 7 of iPhone 8 Plus teaching material, measure the resistance value of J5800 fingerprint connector and check whether the line is faulty. No obvious failure was found after measurement. And the next step is to measure the connector voltage. When measuring the voltage of pin line of J5800, it is found that the voltage is only 0.78 voltage, which should normally be 1.8 voltage, and it is judged that this line is faulty. According to the drawing, pin 9 of J5800 associated circuit I2C1 AOP to MESA Turtle SCL. It is the clock signal line which is CPU to the fingerprint pressure sensor in the I2C1 lines. This signal is sent by the CPU AV10 pin and sent to pin line of J5800 after passing through the U1601, buffer 2 and the protective resistor R5852. The U1601 front-end line voltage is normal, and the back-end voltage is abnormal. It is determined that U1601 is damaged. Replace the new U1601 and measure the voltage of pin line of J5800. The multimeter shows 1.79 voltage, indicating that the voltage is back to normal. Installed it and tested. The fault is solved perfectly. The case 2 is about iPhone 8 Plus. The return function is normally but no fingerprint function. The failure is about the iPhone 8 Plus malfunction is that the phone's bottom's back key function can be used. The fingerprint cannot be read, and the active fingerprint position is green. Analyzation of this failure, the fingerprint adding function position is green, indicating that the fingerprint sensor module is not detected by the CPU. At this time, it is necessary to determine whether the cable is broken or the motherboard circuit is faulty. Solution: first, move the fingerprint module for visual inspection without disconnection or damaged, and then replace the new LCD text. It is found that the failure is still the same when the fingerprint module is assembled on another machine. The fingerprint adding function position is blue, determining that the fingerprint module itself has no problem. The fault exists on the motherboard. Next, according to the iPhone 8 Plus textbook version 1.0, page 7, measure the resistance of J5800 fingerprint connector and check whether the line is faulty. When pin 1 of J5800 is detected, it is found that the resistance value is OL, which should normally be 579, and it is judged that the line is disconnected. According to the drawing, pin 1 of J5800 associated that circuit is PP1VA MESA CONN, which is 1.8 voltage power supply for fingerprint circuit. The power supply is issued by the main power IC and sent to pin 1 of J5800 fingerprint connector after the protective inductor FL5810. It is detected that the inductor FL5810 is damaged and this line is disconnected. This inductor is a protection inductor. It can be short jumper directly if it damaged. After short jumper the inductor FL5810, measure the resistance value of pin 1 of J5800 again. The multimeter shows the resistance value as 313, which means the circuit is back to normal. Install it and test it. The file is shown perfectly. Case 3. iPhone 8 Plus fingerprint cannot be recorded. This case is about the iPhone 8 Plus malfunction is that the fingerprint entry interface can be opened, but there is no response when entering the fingerprint information. The analysis of this case, the fingerprint entry interface can be opened but cannot be entered, which is usually caused by the abnormal 16 voltage power supply required for the fingerprint sensor to work. Solution is, first, according to the iPhone 8 Plus textbook 1.0 version, page 7, measure the resistance of the J5800 fingerprint connector and check whether the line is faulty. After testing, the resistance value did not find any obvious abnormality, and the next step was to measure the voltage. When measuring the voltage, it was found that the 16 voltage power of pin A of J5800 always had not, and just that this line was faulty. According to the drawing, the 16 voltage power supply of the fingerprint is provided by a booster system composed of a U5610 fingerprint booster. This line has normal resistance and abnormal voltage. It is judged that the fingerprint 16 voltage booster power supply system is faulty. First, replace the U5610 fingerprint booster for repair. Replace the new IC and measure the line voltage again. The multimeter shows 50.9 voltage, which means that the voltage is back to normal. Install it and test it. The faulty is solved perfectly. Okay, let's check case 4. iPhone 8 Plus, the fingerprint is normal but no return function. The case is about the iPhone 8 Plus failure is that the fingerprint unlock function of the iPhone is normal, but there is no response when the return key is pressed. Analysis of this case. In iPhone 7 and later models, if the fingerprint module does not match the motherboard, the fingerprint function will be lost and the return key function will also be lost. The fingerprint can be used to determine whether the fingerprint module is matched with the motherboard. The return function cannot be used to determine whether the motherboard is faulty or the fingerprint module is faulty. Case solution is replacing the JC universal return key cable and test it, and found that it can be used normally. It is judged that there is no problem with the motherboard and the faulty is on the original fingerprint module. There is a pressure sensitive IC on the fingerprint line of the original machine. which is responsible for implementing the return function since the pressure-sensitive information is collected. Replace the fingerprint module pressure sensing IC, install and test, and solve the problem perfectly. Case 5. iPhone 8 Plus no response when pressing the back key. This case about the iPhone 8 malfunction is normal for the fingerprint unlock function of the phone, but when the return key is pressed, nothing happens. The analysis of this case in iPhone 7 and later models. If the fingerprint module does not match the motherboard, the fingerprint function will be lost and the return key function will also be lost. The fingerprint can be used to determine whether the fingerprint module is matched with the motherboard. The return function cannot be used to determine whether the motherboard is faulty or the fingerprint module is faulty. Solution about this case: replacing the JC universal return key cable and testing, and found that it can be used normally. It is just that there is no problem with the motherboard and the fault is on the original fingerprint module. First, measure the resistance of the fingerprint module cable and check whether there is a fault in the line. When the pin line of the fingerprint cable shortcut is detected, the resistance value is OL and normally it should be A23 to judge that the line is disconnected. According to the drawing, the pin line associated circuit is SPL MESA to APMISOCONN, which is the missile data line from the fingerprint to the CPU in the SPI lines. It is detected that the loose resistor of this line caused the circuit to be disconnected. This resistance is a protection resistor, and it can be short jumper directly if it damaged. Short jumper this resistor and measure the resistance of this fingerprint cable pin A again. The multimeter shows the resistance value is A17, which means the line is back to normal. Install it and test it. Perfect fault repair. Okay, this is the course today. More repair cases, please check on our book, iPhone Maintenance Point and Inspire. I am Anthony. Let's meet next time. Bye.